What's up, guys? This will be the only and the easiest deliverability guide you will ever need. So, if you are struggling with low open rates on your email campaigns, this video is perfect for you. I'll make this guide super easy and straight to the point, so let's get straight to it. First things first, what you want to do is set up your DNS records. Before you can send any emails, you need to prove to email inbox providers such as Gmail, Yahoo, and Outlook that your emails are really coming from your domain so that you are a legit sender, not some scammer sending on behalf of somebody else. Here I'm talking about the famous trio, so the SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. These might sound a bit technical or complicated, but they're really simple. You just have to add a couple of texts, just copy paste it, click save, and that's it. It should take probably less than 5 minutes. So the first thing you want to do is go to your domain provider. That could be either Cloudflare, GoDaddy, Namecheap, Shopify, Porkbun, whoever. So in my case, it's Porkbun, and I'll show you a live tutorial on how to do this. So let's start with SPF. So what you want to do is again go to your domain provider. In my case, it's Porkbun, and add this as a record. So go to like domain management, go to DNS settings. It will be different for each domain provider. For Porkbun, it looks like this. So this is my domain, and here is the DNS record. So just click on that. Here you have the option to add a record. For the type, you select TXT, so a text record. For host, you can either leave it blank or just put at. And for the value or answer, for SPF, you just copy this one, which one matches your setup. If you're using Google Workspace, just use this one. I'll leave the link to this Gamma doc in the description below, so you can just enter it, copy paste this code. But if you're using Microsoft, you just use this one, just copy paste this one. And if you're using both, just put them both in. I use Google Workspace, so I'll just copy this one, go back here and click save. I already have it set it up, so I won't click save, but that's basically what you do. It's super simple. All right, next one is DMARC. Same, really simple. Again, just copy. Oops, sorry. Just copy this host name. So here, instead of at, we'll have underscore DMARC. Type the same txt record, and just have this generic value. So here you'll see mail to your example.com. You can just put your burner email while you receive like reports from DMARC. It can be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be your main domain, your main email inbox that you use to like email people and stuff. And that's it for DMARC and SPF. Again, super simple. And for DMARC, what you want to do is go to your email provider's admin panel. In my case, it's Google Workspace. So let's just quickly go there. Once you're at your admin panels, you just type DKIM here and go to DKIM authentication. From here, I already generated the code, but you'll have the option to be like blank space. You just click generate new record, then you copy paste that record, go back to your domain. Again, just copy paste it here for the answer or value, and for the host name, you just copy the host name that it given you. And for the text, for the type, just keep text record, and that's it. After you click save, you just click here. It will say start authentication. I already did it, so now it says stop authentication, but you just click start, and that's it. And it should take like a couple of minutes, but it says that it can take up to 48 hours, but usually just a couple of minutes. And once you set those three up, and once you install all those three records, you just go to this website, MX Toolbox, and you have options to test your DKIM, your DMARC, and your SPF. So I'll just enter my domain here. All right, here for selector Google. Okay, this is for DMARC and for SPF. As you can see here, it's nice installed. We got the green checks. Everything's good on all the fronts. So yeah, we're good there. So that's it, how you install those three records. Again, super simple. Next up is the branded sending domain. Again, super easy. So you just go to your Klaviyo and you go to settings, you go to domains and add domain. So let's just do it live. So here we are in Klaviyo. You just go to your account here, click on settings, then go to domains, and then you click add the domain. Here you just select marketing wise. Yep, root domain. Here you can say anything. It can be hello, send, whichever, just like info. And here you have two options. You can either set it up manually or you can connect it with entry. I just use entry because it's super simple. It will just do all the work for you. And that's it. Super simple, right? You just wait for it to be verified. It's usually like immediately, right? As you can see here, it's ready to activate for email sending. You just click activate, and that's it. Your brand extended domain is set up. Okay, so now that we're done with the technical setup, let's go straight to the strategy you want to use to increase your deliverability. So next up is segments. So what you want to do is create a segment of subscribers who are engaging with your emails and send emails exclusively to them. Why? Because you want to get as much engagement as possible, which will signal to email inbox providers that you are a good sender, that people want to receive your emails, so they will send the future emails to your future subscribers in their primary or promotional inbox, but definitely not in the spam folder. And the way you do this is by sending to people who you know that are likely to respond well to your emails. And how do you know that? You know that by their previous actions. They previously clicked or opened an email or engaged with your brand in a positive way. So they are likely to engage with your brand again in the future. So this is how a typical 30-day engagement looks like. So the person can receive email marketing and they have opened an email or they clicked an email at least once in the last 30 days. Now this one is really unique to your situation. Now this could be 17 days, it could be 25 days, it could be 7 days, depending on your situation and your email list. And the actual days doesn't matter. What matters is the actual number of emails. If you had, let's say you have 20,000 people on your email list, in the last 5 days 10,000 people opened. But if you expand to 15 days, that would be 20k people, right? For, let's say it was a unique situation. If you go from 10k people to 20k people in just a short amount of time, if you double the amount of emails you're sending, that will trigger red flags. And even if your emails are good, they will probably land in spam because you have such a high jump in the amount of people you're emailing, and that will just cause red flags to email inbox providers to put your emails in spam. So again, really depending on your situation, if your deliverability is down bad, you can even start with 15-day engage and build up from there. So the strategy here is starting small, again, small depending on your brand and your situation, and then building up to wider and wider audience as you get more and more positive engagement. Now, if again, this is a really simple one, I even left a Klaviyo AI prompt where you can just go to the segments and just copy paste this one. It will create you this segment and you just keep emailing those people. Again, if you have more than like 40% open rates or 50% open rates plus, you can even expand the segment further in order to reach more people and get more conversions. Also add people who are active on site, who view the product, who went to checkout or to add it to cart or they placed an order, because those people also are likely to engage with your emails, but not as high as the people who already did before. Maybe these people like your brand, but they just don't prefer opening emails or whatever, right? Maybe some people that bought 3 times for you, like don't open their emails or whatever. So this is the safe bet, like just people open or click an email. But if your open rates are solid and you can convert more people, you can just use the expanded 30-day engage segments and reach more interested people and convert more people. Yeah. And also you want to create a segment of people who bounced or marked your email as a spam at least once over all time, and you just want to exclude these people from all of your campaigns. If people constantly mark your emails as spam, that's the worst thing that can happen for your deliverability, so you don't want to keep sending to those people. Same thing for bounced email. Those people probably entered a burner email on your opt-in form, just get the offer, and you don't want to email nobody, right? It just hurts your deliverability and you get nothing from it. Now, next up, before I go into the sauce of the campaigns, I just quickly want to give you guys a quick campaign hack to boost your replies. Replies are the best thing possible for your deliverability. It signals to email inbox providers that the people want to hear from you. Obviously, you want the replies to be positive. You don't want to be like, stop emailing me or such. So here is a quick template. Obviously, you can adjust it, but it's a plain text from either the founder or the team, right? Whoops. So it basically goes like, hey, quick question. This subject line always has nice openings. If you're in cold email space, so yeah, we're working on always making our products or the brand even better. Here's a quick question: what's the hardest part about your brand? Whether it's name a couple of stuff that might be wrong about your brand or your product, and then you have reply to this email, and we'll drop you a X% of code in your inbox as a thank you. click here to reply to us. And then for the link, you want to use this link. So mail to your brand email. For example, mail to support@nike.com. What this will do is when you click this email, it will open a draft email for the brand, for the email that's included here. So it will make it easy for people to respond to your email. And then like an email follow-up, giving people the discount code. I would also give people the discount code even if they didn't reply because they might engage or they might even convert to the discount code. So yeah, that's it for this little deliverability boosting hack. Now let's go to the actual sauce, your actual campaign content. First thing I want to cover is plain text versus graphic based or designed emails, which are better for deliverability for getting out of spam, right? Now, although plain text tend to have higher deliverability if you have great sender's reputation, really doesn't matter, right? But you still want to send design emails and throw in a plain text from time to time. A good ratio is 20 to 25% plain text and 75 to 80% graphic based or designed emails. And when you do opt in for designed emails, which is most of the time, a good rule of thumb for images and text ratio is to use less than 4 to 5 images in total and having like 1 to 3 HTML text blocks. So live text inside of Klaviyo. So not just like images of the text, but actually drag and drop in the text in Klaviyo, type in the words. So it's like live text, which email inbox providers can scan. All right, next up is avoid spammy words. Now this one is obvious, but this one is the biggest spam trigger that there is. So definitely avoid words like free, act now, guaranteed, money, make money fast, risk free, stuff like that, because these make your emails look spammy, especially if you use them with all caps, too many emojis, or too many exclamation marks. Now you can still sell hard, just like a real person would, but you can run your copy through spam checker to see if you are using spam words and then just replace those with some words that are less spammy. Next up, keep leaks simple. Now, if you ever open an email in your spam folder and the images don't usually load, it's like just a bunch of different links. It's a whole mess, and that's because they just use too many different URLs. So you want to use one main CTA link, repeat it if needed, and avoid stuffing the email with too many different URLs because it can make the email look messy, promotional, and less trustworthy to inboxes. Yep. Now I want to give you guys some tips and tricks. So the first one is add invisible text. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you want to have some live HTML text inside of your email, right? Not just images. And what you can do if you don't have the room to add it in the actual email itself, you can just have like a 300 to 500 words text about your brand and then make the color of the text the same as the background so it's practically invisible in their inbox. This is how this brand Space Goods did it, but they actually didn't make it visible. They just made it so small, right? That's okay. But you want make sure you don't use any spam words. You just use some good deliverability words or anything that's healthy about your brand, your mission, how you help people, be helpful, be polite, stuff like that. So here we are in a Klaviyo's campaign, a drag and drop editor. So what I will do is I'll drag and drop a text block. Let's put it down below. Here I will just copy paste your brand's mission or any words that are positive. I just got some Lauren Ipsum stuff and here I'll just make it centered. Because the background is white, I will just make this white. And then for the text size, I will just put 1. Because if you put like a bigger one, it will be like a bigger block in your email, which you don't want. You want to be just invisible, but the email inbox providers will read it either way. So yeah, that's it. You just have this little live HTML block and you're good to go. All right, next up is send slightly off the hour. Now, most brands schedule their emails at exact times like 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m. Instead, what you want is to send at, for example, instead of 12 p.m., you want to send at 12:02. What that will do is that will put your email higher in inbox because it was sent later, right? And while all the other brands are fighting for the 12 p.m. spot, you'll be there at 12:02 and the person will open the email at 12 hours and 10 minutes and you will be on top of their inbox. So you'll have a higher likelihood of them opening your emails rather than other brands, right? So how you do that is basically you go to Klaviyo, you go to template, just type a random subject line, and here you just click just type, you manually type it. Here you have options like you see here 00, 15, 30, 45, and 00. So you can just type it like this, right? And you just click schedule a campaign, schedule message, and it will schedule all 12:02 rather than just selecting 12 p.m. So yeah, that's a little hack for you guys. All right, next up, manipulate your sender's name. Now, if applicable, you want to add emojis to your sender's name. Why? Because this will differentiate you from other people in the inbox and make you more noticeable, and thus you will have a higher likelihood of people opening your emails. So you can either add emojis if it works for your brand voice, or you can add a different words. For example, sale. If you're running a sale, that's great. What I like to do is when I send a plain text from the founder, for example, or from any person from the brand, I like to change it to name at brand, or name just at brand, or name from brand, instead of having your brand's name. So just to update the sender's name, you just go here, and you can just let's add an emoji, for example, this. Oops, like this spawn, like right. So email grandmaster spawn, and this is how it will appear in their inbox. Or you can just say sale, right? Or you can say Vukla at email grandmasters. Oops. So yeah, and that's it. It will only be applicable for this uh, email campaign specifically. If you want to change it for all of the emails, like in total, you just go to your settings and then you update the sender's name from there to be applicable for all of the future emails and your flows. Yeah, you just go next and schedule the campaign, and this will be the sender name that people see. So yeah. Next up is add a have a question block in the footer or at the end of your email to get people to reply, because as we mentioned earlier, replies are goated. So here is an email from DuraDry. It's like a deodorant brand, and it's like a frequently asked questions campaign. It's clean, it's very nice, and at the end here they have more questions or want more info, just hit reply and we'll get back to you ASAP. You want to have something similar in your campaign, uh, just like a simple block like this, being like have questions about, and you can name the pain point that most of your ICPs that your ICP actually is experienced, right? If you're selling dog food, you can be like have questions about, I don't know, if your dog can eat this, or about if the size of your dogs, if this is applicable for your dog or stuff like that, right? So you can just hit reply and we'll get back to you. And you can use the link trick I showed you guys earlier. When you link it to your email inbox, so when people click, it will open and draft your email, making it super easy for your customer. And yeah, next up and final one, this is my favorite one, is add a magic button. Now this brand Perez, and they do this all the time. I really like this brand and their emails. Um, this guy Corbin from Brez, he always includes a magic button. I never read the email, right? I'm not interested in the brand itself. I always open their emails, but I never read this stuff. I only look at this magic button. Now I obviously don't click anymore because I used to click it so much. People just want to click the magic button. You just psychologically see it's a magic button. What does it do? It opens a curiosity loop in my head, and I just want to close the loop. And the only way to close it is by clicking on the button and seeing what's the magic about it. So yeah, definitely just have a simple magic button after your sign off, and your click rates will skyrocket, and you might get some conversion for people who would otherwise just ignore this email, but they just saw the magic button and they want to click it, and they went to your product page, they learned more about your brand and they liked it further. So yeah, a great hack from this brand press. Definitely use it. It's a game changer for click-through rates. So yeah, that's it for the tips and tricks. And finally, we have the subject lines and preview text. Now, this is the guide. This is my own subject lines and preview text guide I sent to all the e-commerce owners when they asked me about it. So this is it. For the subject lines, you want to make it short, usually anywhere from 2 to 5 words. Does the job best. Obviously, this is not a set in stone rule. You can definitely play around with it, see what works for your brands, but it's like a general rule of thumb. 2 to 5 words usually work the best. Now, you want to leverage curiosity. For example, can you keep this between us? Or is this you? Or have you seen this? So stuff like that, where you ask people questions, those tend to have the highest open rates. And next one is test title case versus regular capitalization. So this is the subject line versus this is the subject line. Now, it really depends on your brand, but I really like when I send emails from the founder or from people from the company. I don't like to use cases because this really feels like a brand subject lines, right? While this feels like a normal. Sometimes I don't even capitalize it, right? So it will be just a small T here, and this is the subject line. That would be the subject line. So yeah, if you want to keep it casual and if it makes sense for your brand, definitely try it out. And next up, avoid spam words. This is the most important one. Obviously, you won't be able to do this all the time. Sometimes you have a sale. You want to tell the people it's a sale. Sale is a spam word, or 20% of is a bit of a spam word. But obviously, make sure you have the grounds for to use that subject line. But beforehand doing all the durability stuff we talked about in this guide. But yeah, definitely avoid all caps, like three exclamation mark. That's like really bad. And too many emojis, that's also bad. And while we're talking about emojis, you can also test those, like we talked about earlier from the sender's name. If it works for your brand, you can also use it in the subject line. So for example, for this one, can you keep this between us? We will have like those that shush emoji, right? That would be interesting, for example. So yeah, definitely try them out, but avoid using too many. So maximum two emojis, and that's like max. Next one, oops, use preview text to expand on the subject line. Now, you want to keep the curiosity you built in the subject line. So if the subject line is, can you keep this between us? The preview text would be something like, we haven't shared this with anyone, for example, right? Now here, I'd recommend only using regular capitalization because using title cases just feels weird for the preview text. I've never done it. I've never seen anyone do it. It's just weird. And it doesn't need to be as short as a subject line. You can go for a full sentence, long preview text, and most of the time this also does the job well, right? So for example, can you keep this between us? We haven't shared this with anyone, and you are the first one to know, right? So yeah. And what I like to do is end with three dots because it opens a curiosity loop that people want to end. And the only way to do so is to open the email. For example, can you keep this between us? We haven't shared this with anyone except you. Three dots. That's more powerful than we haven't shared this with anyone except you. Just like that, or like just one dot, or three dots are goated for the preview text. It really does wonders. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you improve your deliverability and get out of spam. Now, if you want somebody else to take care of this for you, like me, for example, or take care of your entire email side of the business so you can focus on your creatives, ads, your product, I'll leave my calendar link in the description below. If you want, you can book a free discovery call. On that call, I'll analyze your current results and map up how to generate an additional 30 to 160K in brand new revenue in exactly 30 days, or you don't pay. Simple as that. Yeah, if you're interested, book a call below. If not, that's good. That's also cool. I hope you guys got some value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.